In the wild western wastelands of the Great White North, two gay lefty scumbags embark on an endless pursuit for the true meaning of wokeness. This is Woke in the West. Whoa, hey!
Hello.
We're back!
And good day.
We have returned!
Yes.
And just like usual, a lot of shit's gone down.
Yes, we seem to have officially decided that it's the best idea to record these on Sunday because most of the things that go down happen Friday evening after the market closes because President Donald Josephine Trump really loves to rattle the markets. But I can say that today the Dow went up. Just under 400 points.
That means this war is good.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Iran war. I guess that happened. That started since.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy Iran war, everyone. Where were you when the Iran war started?
I was probably working on the episode, getting ready for it to upload. The last one.
Yeah. I was sitting on my couch
Typical.
and I got the notification. The very first notification: Israel strikes Iran. So
Whew.
that was who started it. Don't let them forget it. We have a lot to talk about in regards to that, but don't worry, this show is still Canada focused and Canada first. And
Got a lot of Canadian stories
our
here,
dear
actually.
Prime Minister sure had a few things to say
Yeah,
about the
sure did.
situation. But yeah, has anything else happened? There's been a lot. I mean, the Olympics ended. The Oscars were last night.
We watched that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big pop
One
culture
battle
stuff.
after another got Best Picture.
Yeah, I
Woo!
hope the Americans
Spoiler
are
alert.
watching that. So
Woohoo!
anyway,
Yeah, take notes.
take notes from there and here.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we got from CBC Today, Trump's upset that
Aw.
U.S. partners are shunning his call for Hormuz warship escorts.
This isn't really Canada focused, but Canada is definitely part
We
of this.
said
I'd
no.
say. Yeah, we were like, fuck you, eh?
So we are in this because he's asking us for help. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't really have much of a navy, but we're a part of NATO. And he's, well, you know, and all of Europe is saying no to this.
Mhm.
The U.S.-Israeli war in Iran is in its third week with no end in sight. The critical Strait of Hormuz, which through 20% of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas flows, remains largely closed off, raising energy prices and fears of inflation. Yep, from memory, oil is $95 a barrel today as of right now. I checked before we started recording. And gas here is, at least here in the West Coast, Best Coast, the Woke in the West Coast, gas currently on average is about 200.
We saw it yesterday.
Yeah, it's like 200, 204, like around their area. I've seen low 197. And this is what we're talking about cost per liter. It's Canadian, you know, because best country. And diesel is ridiculous. It's like 245. So, yeah,
Whoa.
raising energy prices and fears of inflation, I'd say that's well and truly justified.
We're being accosted by AI Stephen Hawking.
I can't
right
believe
here.
there's an AI Stephen Hawking
He likes
ad.
explicitly. Sorry to interrupt here, but
No,
like
I was staring at
for
it
our
too.
listeners here, we got an ad here. Take an IQ test.
This is who's giving money to CBC,
My
I guess.
IQ with a AI generated Stephen Hawking, who you know was kind of famous for explicitly stating that AI would be the death of us all, and that it was a really bad thing. But
Yeah, he
you know,
was also famous for knowing Jeffrey Epstein.
oh yes, that too.
The conflict has already imposed economic costs on U.S. allies who were not consulted before the airstrikes and have endured months of harsh criticism and bellicose threats from Trump since he returned to office.
bellicose.
Yeah, that's
I don't
a
hear
delicious
that word very
That's
often.
That's a word for someone who went to university for
Yeah.
journalism.
Yeah, showing off their journalism degree.
A number of U.S. partners, including Germany, Spain, and Italy, said they had no immediate plans to send ships to help reopen the strategic waterway. We lack the mandate from the United Nations, the EU, or NATO required under basic law, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz said in Berlin, adding that Washington and Israel had not consulted anyone before launching the war.
Nobody.
I'm adding an extra hint of gravitas to that.
Trump, speaking at a news conference in Washington, said many countries had told him they were prepared to help, but voiced frustration with some long-standing allies. Some are very enthusiastic about it, some aren't. Yeah, he said without offering specifics. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We protected them from horrible outside sources, and they weren't that enthusiastic. And the level of enthusiasm matters to me.
The U.S. military said Monday that roughly 200 of its troops had been injured since the start of the
God.
conflict.
200.
Israel still has thousands of targets in Iran. Yeah, they're not going to stop. So, like, I hope for everyone watching and, you know, biting down their fingernails while this war continues, just check to see if Israel ever sends a single ground troop into Iran. because the U.S., we're going to talk about it because technically the Iran war section is going to stretch on. We're going to mention it many times, but in a separate article, Trump committed, I believe, 2,500 Marines already to Iran
to try to open the strait back up.
Yeah, but they do, they specialize in amphibious landings, ground and water and all that. So, yeah, keep an eye on that because Israeli troops are currently just blowing into Lebanon, as you can read here in this article. Israeli troops pushed into new parts of southern Lebanon, part of an expanding operation after Hezbollah fired rockets at Israel in retaliation for the killing of Iran's supreme leader. Yeah, well, when you kill the head of an entire religious faith, that sort of thing can happen.
Here we go with Canada. In a joint statement, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Britain warned that any significant Israeli ground offensive would have devastating humanitarian consequences and could lead to a protracted conflict, and such an operation must be averted.
I appreciate the statement, but the fact that the U.S. and Israel did this without consulting anyone means we should leave them out to fucking dry. Dropping that first F-bomb of the episode because they need it. They need to feel it, and we're going to feel it too, and it's going to suck. And it sucks that the U.S. is laxing sanctions on Russia to now try and ease this, and it's not even going to do that much because Canada released a bunch of oil. I don't know if we have an article about it, but Canada also just committed to releasing a couple billions of barrels of oil into the market, and the market didn't really react. More oil has been committed now with since the Iran war was dropped in our laps all by surprise than when Russia invaded Ukraine 4 years ago. The last time there was an oil freak out because a lot of oil came from that area. There were more sanctions put on, right? A big agriculture flow issues. But yeah, so even though more oil was released just in the last month, the market is reacting worse because there's way more fears. And they're all justified. Because we're dealing with a bunch of freaking petulant children that just are going mad with power. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it would target U.S. industrial facilities in the Middle East and urge people living near U.S.-owned plants to leave. And he also just attacked Karg Island, which is the place where they do a lot of the
just
refining.
This past weekend. Yep.
Trump got confronted very hilariously by Brian Kilmeade from Fox.
You said
Thursday.
You said there's a clip of him from the 80s talking about how he would do that.
Yeah, well, it's either I think it's a written interview from '88.
Oh, a written interview.
Kilmeade was asking him about because it's in print. It was when he was on the press tour for Art of the Deal.
He said, I'd be harsh on Iran. They've been beating us psychologically, making us look like a bunch of fools. One bullet shot at one of our men or our ships, and I'd do a number on Karg Island. I'd go in and take it.
Yeah, and also there's been amidst this complete shit show of an Iran war, there's no exit strategy, no off-ramp, and no way for people that are in the region to get out. All the people that have been living in Dubai and UAE and, Oman or whatever it is, they're toast. All the flights are canceled. It's been terrible. I watched even people that are vacationing in places with connections through those places, they're hooped. It's not good. Because the U.S. just left them all to be missile sponges. It's not defending any of its bases. I like that we are signing statements that I agree with. We need to hold this stance. We need the spine.
Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Love isn't always on time.
Let Israel take every missile. They deserve it. It's ridiculous. They started this war. They can't act like they're some innocent, oh no, small country, Israel size of New Jersey. They fired the first rocket at Iran.
We're just so tiny, guys. We're so tiny and harmless.
They need to put that fucking
Nazi
strike
widow
country in its place.
Israel.
Nazi country.
Poor widow Israel.
Yeah. So there you go. Let's continue with the Canada involvement in the Iran war stuff. We got called out, actually. Well, our prime minister got called out.
Yeah.
Senator Chris Van Hollen took shots at Canadian PM Mark Carney. This is a good little thing here. I like our leader being criticized. So let's play this here. It was on Al Jazeera.
I just led a letter signed by pretty much every member of the Senate Democratic Caucus, but one, to Hegseth, about the strike against
I think we know who that
Iranian
was.
School
Probably Fetterman.
That's killed roughly 150 Iranian school girls. This is after Pete Hegseth has been dismantling the structures within the Defense Department. They're intended to limit civilian harm. yes, we have to be prepared to fight a war and go after the adversaries' militaries. But we've been working for years to do so in a way that limits civilian harm. And he just blew that up. In fact, it was Hegseth who said these are stupid rules of engagement. Rules of engagement are designed to prevent war crimes. I also think European leaders are really dropping the ball in this moment.
Yep.
I mean, I really appreciated the speech that the Canadian Prime Minister gave in Geneva about the attacks from the Trump administration
Davos,
on the
actually.
world order. But then he immediately signs up in support of the war in Iran. And we've seen very tepid pushback
Thank
among
God he's walked
European
that
leaders
back.
to what clearly was a violation of international law. I mean, there's no question that the United States and Israel started this war. There was no imminent threat, and they just went off and started a war. That's clearly a violation of international law. So to get to the bottom of your question, if we don't have some mechanisms for accountability, we are going to be condemned to live in a world without any kind of rules. And the United States has seen it, even as a great power, we've seen it to our benefit to have these rules. And the Trump administration has just torn them up. And everybody in the world, especially our European partners, need to push back much more strongly.
Yeah, but will we still be able to have FIFA games, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's the real... I mean, like, you know, you can kill as many, you know, Muslims and brown people as, like, whatever. But, like, can we play soccer? Can we? Yeah, right? What is this pushback? Can we see it manifest in any tangible way?
Yeah, you can talk the big talk, you know. But can you walk the walk? Can you put your money where your mouth is and boycott? I mean, we've been doing a pretty good job of like not
certainly
elbows up.
boycotting.
You know, it's been doing
Elbows are
pretty
all
well.
the way up. You know, appreciate even when our you can say American friends call out other people like, you should be hating this war as much as we do.
Yeah.
And I wish Americans voted like they hated war.
So yeah, Carney kind of flip-flopped on his stance on the Iran conflict a little bit here. We saw his initial statement, which,
Yes,
you know, I
we
can put a
have
screenshot of that on screen when I edit this. But it was very lame, very weak sauce. Completely goes against what he said at the Davos speech,
It was a very
basically.
pro-Zionist kind of talking point.
We support the United States' decision to prevent
We understand that Iran is an imminent threat
blah, blah,
to
blah.
everyone in the West, and therefore it's okay to attack someone.
Yeah.
No,
Terrible.
Not
Terrible.
actually allowed.
And he got some shit for it. It looks like he's walked the statements back a little bit.
He walked them all the way back.
Yeah. Now he says from CTV News, Canada will never participate in Iran offensive.
Never.
We kind of took this, we brought this article up because we thought it would have a clip of him actually saying it.
No, but it's mostly full of quotes from Bloc Québécois members being like, Canada first. What about Quebec first?
It does have this iconic image of Carney,
It is
which
a
I
pretty
think
good
will
image.
also be in textbooks
It might be in
for
the
years
thumbnail.
to come. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think I might be able to. I'm the one who makes the thumbnails for this show, and I think that this is a very thumbnailable picture.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so here's a clip of him actually talking about it here.
But with a translator, because he said it in French. I think that he did this on purpose because then Trump is less likely to
Trump
hear about it.
doesn't care about French.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Canada's policy is clear. Canada supports the necessity of preventing Iran's nuclear program and exporting of any terrorism. Canada is not participating in the offensive operations of Israel and the United States and will not ever.
Yeah, so very, very selective words there,
Mhm.
right? He said, we will not participate in the offensive operations. So he didn't even really call it a war, right? And because it's sort of like, oh, well, we struck first, or this is we as in America, we struck first. So for us, it's offense, right? So it's like, so he's saying we're not participating in the preemptive strikes.
Yeah, that also leaves open for like the door open for other
door
support.
is open.
Because like, oh, we're not doing the offensive stuff, but, you know, we'll give you like aid and maybe some backdoor stuff.
No troops. This is not Iraq.
No troops, so thank God for that.
No, we better not. Carney.
Don't you dare.
I left
Carney.
a comment in one of the posts back when the war started. I was like, you better not send us to die for Israel, Mark, or I will find you.
I will find you.
And I'll give you a sick high five.
Yeah.
On the
Right on the face. Hey, Mark, you know if your hand's bigger than your face, you got cancer?
Yeah, you
Try it out.
Yeah. That is a threat, by the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, I will check if you have cancer, Mark Carney.
Yeah. We'll take a look inside.
Yeah.
Oh, look like we got some potential
But,
money.
you know, yeah, in the matters of oil, Canada has some of that,
Oh, we sure do.
and we might seek to benefit if Iran's oil becomes harder to get. If only we could process it in our own damn country, huh? If we only had refineries. Anyway,
Yeah.
you can read some of this.
All right. As the world acts to stabilize oil prices, Canada sees a potential windfall. Woo! From CBC News, March 11th, few days old. The International Energy Agency agreed on Wednesday to release 400 million barrels of oil from its strategic reserves in order to tamp down surging prices.
Oh, yeah, I guess
we
we did have a
we
story
did
about
have an
that.
article about it, caused by the closure of the Strait of Hormuz and other disruptions in the oil industry on the Persian Gulf. That's more than twice the amount the IEA released to calm markets following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in
I
2022.
knew it was more, but I didn't know it was more than twice.
Damn.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of perspective. As a producer country, Canada is not required to hold a strategic reserve in storage tanks in the same way that importer countries are. So the Canadian release will come mostly in the form of increased production achieved through measures such as delaying scheduled maintenance and increasing pipeline flows. Gee whiz, I love the idea of increasing the flow of pipelines that need maintenance.
Wow.
I'm sure that
getting
won't
rid
result in any kind of leaks.
Yeah,
Or
getting rid of
explosions.
regulations, that always goes well.
No, it's not the regulation. The law is not changing. They're just like being lax on the checkups.
Yeah, delaying scheduled
building
maintenance.
inspector.
Delaying
Yeah.
scheduled maintenance. So they are like clearing the red tape a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
Loosening
they're
the
tightening
regulations, yeah.
belt. Or loosening the belt.
Loosening the belt a
Yeah.
couple
I
notches.
need
You
to get my
know?
metaphors straight.
Unprecedented volatility. The release represents about a third of the oil stored by IEA's 32-member governments.
Wow.
But it's also less than 4 days of global consumption. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Christ almighty.
A third. So are you telling me that
How many was
32
this?
member governments have enough oil in reserve for only 12 days?
400 million barrels.
So they have 1.2 billion barrels in oil, and that's only going to last 12 days
Oh
if they
my
absolutely
God.
need it. Oh my goodness.
This is why we need to switch to fucking solar.
We're still in the Canada section, obviously, but I read somewhere that 2 European countries, and maybe I'll fact check this at some point in between sections now that we record in chunks, as opposed to just, free balling it the whole time. But
Yeah, doing one big thing with a million tabs that freeze my
But I
computer.
believe that 2 European countries have already sent their governmental staff home again, as if it was like COVID time, specifically to save that gas money so that people aren't traveling. And can you imagine that? Do you remember how cheap gas was when COVID started?
No, because I wasn't driving.
No, I don't. I don't drive either. But I took the bus, and I pay attention to the gas prices.
you're looking at the prices, yeah.
I've been very flummoxed and shocked.
For every day that the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, the world loses 15 to 20 million barrels of production. That loss, primarily to Asian markets, is kind of an air pocket in global oil supply that will soon hit shore. When that air pocket lands, that's when inventories are going to start drawing really aggressively, and that's when the physical market will force some kind of higher price. How high that price could go depends almost entirely on outcomes in the Persian Gulf that remain wildly unpredictable. Monday may have been the most volatile day in the history of oil trading, but few experts are confident how long that record could stand.
On Wednesday, the U.S. Energy Information Administration raised its forecast for the spot price of Brent crude from under 58 US a barrel to almost 79 US a barrel.
God.
If that $20 average increase comes true, experts say it will be a windfall for Canada. Quote, "We are a massive net exporter of oil and products." Yeah, unrefined, said Johnston. I added that part. Back to the quote. "Western Canada is going to benefit. You're going to see a boost in royalty revenues." Well, let's hope so. In the case of Alberta, said Meredith, different person, $90 a barrel over the course of the year would be sufficient to wipe out and probably turn into a surplus what was going to be a $10 billion deficit.
Wow, a surplus in money?
Well, yeah, we're supposed to be phasing out oil and fossil fuels, but if it becomes harder to get because a country that produces 20% of the world's supply is being bombed for no reason, then everyone else is going to benefit. Yeah, including Canada and including Russia. So we need to make sure we have the systems in place for that. BC needs to have a public refinery. We need
Absolutely. Well, we did. We had Petrocan.
No, we don't.
But it
have
got
anything.
privatized, just like everything
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
thanks, conservatives.
Yeah. Thanks, Trudeau, Senior, for real, literally, for trying to nationalize the oil. No joke.
Risk of worldwide recession. The windfall would not fall evenly on a country where the oil is concentrated in 3 provinces. Yep, it could negatively impact provinces that are more sensitive to energy prices. But the bigger concern by far is that the price of oil would rise too much, passing $100 a barrel and heading for 200.
Oh God!
If you need to rip 200 million barrels a
20
day
million.
of demand, if you needed to rip 20 million barrels a day of demand, or even 10 or 15 from the global demand side, that's going to cause a consumption contraction that's going to hurt everything else along the way. Yeah, like you guys need to think about this. Everything from like imported bananas being shipped in on boats from like overseas, all the oil prices are going to go up. Everything is going to domino from here. Every shipping thing, stuff like aluminum and fertilizer goes through the strait.
Oh yeah.
And so therefore the crops are going to start to be, more expensive. Or where Canada actually produces a lot of its own fertilizer too. I read some article where it was like some ship with goods for a Canadian food bank was stuck in the strait, and I'm like, I don't know what we could possibly be importing from, there for a Canadian food bank.
Yeah.
I mean, not to shame an act of charity, but like, I don't know if the gas is worth it. Do we not have enough like leftover food being thrown out in this country? Because I could tell you the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We need to like import food from other countries for the food bank.
That's so
What?
sad. I didn't read the article, so maybe I'm passing some weird judgments here, but like, we should not ever need to import anything for our food banks in this country. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so there you go. Hormuz news for you that you can use.
Wow.
I stole that from Stephen Colbert.
Some more Canadian foreign policy here in the Middle East.
In the Middle East?
CTV from March
Okay,
12th.
JJ.
Some Canadian policy from the Middle East. Canada
If
promises.
you do that enough, he's gonna get like mad at us. He'll probably tweet at us, but he has me blocked. So
Canada promises $37 million in humanitarian aid for civilians in Lebanon.
Thank you. Our guest this episode is JJ McCullough.
Oh God, I hope we don't ever have him on as a guest.
That would be
I would just be
funny.
roasting him the
I
whole
don't
time.
know. I wouldn't really want his opinion story by story on stuff like this because he would really like go.
You'd just be a damper on everything.
You're like a constant downer, huh?
You
The
read this
Carney
fucking
government is promising more than $37 million in humanitarian aid for civilians in Lebanon caught in the crossfire between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah. Boy, that's nice. If only we could stop giving the weapons and money to Israel.
Mm-hmm. We call on all actors to immediately de-escalate the situation and engage in constructive dialogue to prevent further suffering, said Randeep Sarai, Secretary of State for International Development. He made the announcement Thursday on Parliament Hill alongside Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand and Immigration Minister Lena Diab.
The funding will go through the United Nations agencies and Red Cross to provide food, medical services, shelter, and clean water. Will also be channeled through the Canadian branches of the International Medical Corps and Humanitarian Inclusion and Oxfam Quebec. Okay, I like that. I like that we know all the places it's going. But I still don't like that we're playing both sides of the fence because we should not be giving anything to Israel. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said Thursday the country will expand its military operations in Lebanon following the largest attack yet by Hezbollah in the Iran war. He said that Israel, quote, will take the territory and do it ourselves. Did anyone here listening to this show catch that interview that Tucker Carlson did with U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee? Mike Huckabee?
Hunka burning bees?
Yeah. Did anyone hear that? Because U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, said that Israel has a right to all the land between the Nile and the Euphrates. And if you don't know where that is, you might have heard the expression from the river to the sea.
Yeah.
So this is more than that. Look at a map of the Middle East. Look up the Greater Israel Project. The U.S. Ambassador to Israel just said that it's their right to have that land. So that would require taking land from Lebanon, Syria, I think Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, all of Palestine. Yeah, it's horrible. This is Nazi shit. So
Pretty horrifying.
Yeah, we should be cutting Israel off. It's just ridiculous. Wow, and look at this graphic, very relevant to us here in Canada land.
Mm-hmm.
It's a list of the current MPs that have taken CIGJA sponsored trips to Israel, which I imagine that stands for Canadian Israeli Jewish Association.
Something like that, yeah. Alliance or association.
Yeah, alliance or association. Not cabal. Don't get the wrong idea. But yeah, this is a list of all the sitting MPs who have been on trips sponsored by this
Don
group,
Davies.
including interim NDP leader, sitting BC Vancouver Kingsway member Don Davies. So
and Suk
shame
Dhaliwal.
on him. I would love to have a conversation with any of these people.
Suk Dhaliwal from Surrey.
I want to
Newton.
talk to them and find out just how many dead brown children is too many.
Yeah.
Like, because clearly one is not a problem. 2 is not.
Right.
1,000 is not.
Not too many from BC, which is good. Let's see,
No,
we
and
got
the
1,
parties
2,
are fairly
3,
well
4, 5,
diversified
6,
here too.
7,
There's 2 from the
8.
NDP, 1 independent. Somehow there's an independent.
10
MP.
from BC.
10 from BC. Okay, and then the rest are mostly liberal, conservative, and Bloc Québécois.
Yeah.
So yeah, find your MP on this list. Pause it if you're watching on YouTube. Find them and don't let them live this down.
Give them a piece of your mind.
Ask them if they would have gone to Nazi Germany and toured Auschwitz while it was happening.
Give them a stern talking to.
Would you have
a
high
stern
fived
finger
the,
wagging?
Would you have high fived the prisoners in Auschwitz?
Sick, bro.
Yeah, you look sick, bro. Get them out of my sight. Yeah. Shame on all these people. Foreign influence out of Canada now. Oh, yes. Back to the tragedy that rocked BC just a few weeks ago.
We actually, this is one of our breaking stories from last episode. Before shit really got real all over the world.
Yeah, before the war started, we had a shooting in our
in
province.
Tumbler Ridge. CTV News, March 9th.
But this is a follow-up to the shooting.
Yes. Mother of wounded Maya Gabala sues OpenAI over mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC.
We were talking about this title of the article that we're like, is Maya Zabala the child or the mother? And
I think it is the child.
Yeah. 12-year-old daughter Maya Gabala was shot 3 times. And her mother, Sia Edmonds, launched the civil court lawsuit last Monday, so a week ago, saying that the ChatGPT bot provided information, guidance, and assistance to the shooter to carry out the attack. And yeah, they sure did, because we actually know this. The only step OpenAI defendants took in response to the questions asked to ChatGPT in regards to gun violence were to ban the shooter's first OpenAI account, but not report them to authorities.
Not the one they were currently using.
No.
Wow.
So yeah, this is about Jessie Van Rootselar, the 18-year-old that killed 8 people and then herself on February 10th, which was over a month ago now. And they planned this heinous attack on ChatGPT.
Yeah,
and now
they
we
used
have
AI.
a Canadian lawsuit, a transcontinental, or no, that's not the right word.
It's fitting though, transcontinental. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's all in North America, so that's not the right word here. But like an international lawsuit from Canada into the U.S. over AI stuff. So obviously, it's not great that it came because of a mass shooting, but you'll love to see it if it results in some freaking pain for these horrible, evil AI companies.
Maybe, hopefully, this will be the domino that like starts.
We don't
the
have a
chain.
specific story about this, but OpenAI is receiving a lot of crap because they kind of bent over for the U.S. government, and there was like a trending hashtag, I think, to uninstall OpenAI, and it like really hurt them. So
wow,
good. The consumer sentiment is not in AI's favor. Meanwhile, oh boy, those backroom deals, they have been a churning. We have some
shady backroom deals.
So we haven't really mentioned it, but the other day we had a kind of a failure to launch episode, kind of a tech situation where it was a kind of a, we gave up.
My sound card was corrupted and I didn't restart the computer.
Take the steps to check.
I was just like, it's fine. And then we just went ahead.
At that time, the breaking story was that Laurie Idlout, the NDP member, the only elected member from Nunavut, had crossed the floor. Ba, 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 to Carney. Yeah, bringing him 2 seats away from a majority. And though it's not in this story, he did also, a few days ago, trigger 3 by-elections to fill seats for Chrystia Freeland, some other dude, former cabinet minister, and I forget the other one. But yeah, so if he wins all 3 of those, that's it. He's got his majority, like +1.
Yeah.
But just 2, it would be enough. Anyway, let's see a little bit about this.
Oh, yeah, I guess we didn't even say the name of the article. Liberals are related while Polyev accuses Carney of backroom deals after NDP defection. Yeah, so he's got an NDP member
sad.
Now.
I remember her name being in the mix for some time as being a potential floor crosser.
Yep, Laurie Idlout from Nunavut, an MP from Nunavut, is now on Mark Carney's side.
Like with any complicated issue, it wasn't one thing that happened, she said when asked why she made the switch. A variety of things have allowed me to really reflect on this, and I'm thankful to be so warmly welcomed.
Yay! Good for you, Idlout.
Well, she last week appeared at a campaign rally for Avi Lewis, who is widely regarded as the front runner in the NDP leadership race. She offered what seemed to those in the room to be a half-hearted endorsement of Lewis. Quote, "I truly am nervous about my influence," she told the assembled crowd in an Ottawa church.
Then Idlout met privately with Carney in his office on Tuesday, according to his spokesperson, and formally set in motion the departure. Yeah, so she was just on autopilot by that point in public.
Idlout told CBC she was not promised anything in return for joining the party, but she added that she'd felt she was betraying her constituents by staying with the NDP. Wow. She really wanted to be a part of government, huh? Mark Carney is our first prime minister from the North, and at this turning point in our history, I am ready to work with him to build a strong future for Nunavut and for all of Canada, she said, referencing Carney's birth in the Northwest Territories. I guess that would resonate. I actually hadn't thought about that. I guess that would make sense, if she's someone who is probably like, oh, maybe, maybe there's some weird like connection somewhere,
170 MPs. Oh, man.
Two seats shy of a majority.
Close.
Not 2 sheets shy.
2 sheets shy to the wind.
2 sheep shy of a herd.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre could face more than 3 years on the opposition benches if the Liberals cobble together a majority through a combination of floor crossings and by-election wins.
In the article mentioned winning 2 of the 3 by-elections would also deliver a majority government, albeit a narrow one. A clean sweep of all 3 would give them a government with more breathing room and a freer hand to pass whatever legislation it wants, because it wouldn't have to rely on the speaker to break any ties. I think those 3 seats are kind of what is the most likely outcome, because one is 100% Liberals, Chrystia Freeland's seat, and unless the NDP and the Greens can mount some sort of real, like, far right or far left, flank, and really get them on that and criticize this direction of the government, I'm not sure. Is there a comment from the NDP in there where they're like, damn.
The NDP, which lost its official party status in the House of Commons after a very poor showing at the last election, now has an even smaller parliamentary rump
Davies is calling
with just 6 MPs
for a by-election. Yeah, I think I would be in favor of that. For someone crossing the floor, This is a hotly debated topic right now because, of course, the Conservatives are crying about it now, but when it happened in their favor during Harper's tenure, no one, it was like, wow. But now, obviously, all these tears are being shed. But I think personally, a by-election being called when a floor crossing happens is the least we can do, because we should know if your voters wanted you or your party. Period.
Yeah.
Because I think NDP deserves none of it, personally. I think they've put the work in. And I think that if you asked voters, they probably would still back the NDP and none of it.
I think so.
Back to Poilievre.
Fucking Canadian Squidward over here.
Crunchy Squidward.
Crunchy Squidward. Breaking. Conservatives will introduce a motion tomorrow to cut back deluxe benefits for fake refugees and deport non-citizens and foreign nationals who do crime. Again, just taking whatever Trump is doing and just doing it more limply and wimpy, wet noodle style. He's just a wet noodle of a person.
The wettest noodle.
The wettest noodle.
He's a slippery.
Yeah, let's hear what this fucking little worm has to say.
Fact. 6 million Canadians can't get access to a family doctor. Fact. It takes 30 weeks for the average Canadian to see a specialist. Fact. While you can't get health care, Liberals force you to pay higher taxes to fund deluxe supplementary health care benefits for asylum claimants who've been rejected, who are non-Canadians, non-permanent residents, and have never paid taxes in this country. Fact. The reality is that these services include many things that are not covered by your public plan. Things like physiotherapy.
They should have written on the cue cards a little bigger.
Fact. The cost of providing these deluxe...
Oh my God!
He actually
fucked it up so
Well, he's not wearing his
bad.
glasses.
Yeah, he's not wearing his glasses.
The contacts are slipping. Why are you being so mean? Why are you being so mean to Pee-Pee? Why are you being a meanie to Pee-Pee? Mimi to Pee-Pee.
Pee-Pee Mimi. This is like 2.5 minutes. I don't want to watch this.
No,
whole
we don't need to
fucking
watch
thing.
the whole thing.
I
He's
just
just
want
just look at his face.
That,
He's just Poilievre. We're only humoring him because he's got a stupid face we could laugh at. But like, he's not relevant. He's not in the national conversation. There's not even a riding he can like be in next time because the guy is going to take back his seat next election. So
it's just so sad.
Whatever.
And funny.
Enjoy your whatever's left of your.
Please just put your glasses back on, man.
The Conservative Party should just make JJ McCullough its leader.
Yeah, for real. I would actually like that more than him.
That are not covered by your public plan. Things like physiotherapy. In fact, the cost of providing these deluxe supplementary benefits to asylum claims.
Bro.
Can you believe that he's been doing this for his whole life?
This is his job.
For like 30 years.
This is his career.
The saddest, most pathetic man in Ottawa.
Also, I want to point out Dan Leckie Way. I think Dan Leckie was like a big immigration guy in Canada. I don't remember exactly what he did, but filming this anti-immigration propaganda shit on Dan Leckie Way is like a big middle finger.
Maybe there's a reply
Fuck
about
you.
it.
Yeah, I think I saw it on Twitter. Someone like specifically pointed it out. Fact, I didn't rehearse this beforehand, and it shows.
Fact, I actually did this over the course of 10 takes, and this was the best one. Would you believe this was number 9?
Fact, SpongeBob didn't let me get any sleep last night, so I'm not reading this correctly.
Yeah, that is he's like that meme with Squidward peering out the
yeah,
at Carney.
Carney and
all the floor crossers.
Yeah, they're all frolicking around.
Yeah, they're freaking frolicking, yeah.
I didn't know he flubbed it that bad.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Oops to daisy.
Dude.
Y'all can watch the rest of that propaganda on your own time.
Yeah.
But if we were all going to listen to every damn thing pee-pee poo-poo shout out of his mouth, we'd be here all day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about something more exciting.
Yay,
maybe.
something they're doing right. Woo.
Well, close to right.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
This one, anyway.
Yeah. Don't worry, we got some bad stories later on.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Dailyhive.com. Canada's bank fee cap just kicked in. Here's how much you'll save. So yeah, this is something that has always bugged the shit out of me when having a bank account is the insufficient funds charge that they pull on you. People in Canada no longer have to worry about being charged a hefty bank fee as a new government measure kicks in on March 12th. Oh, hey, it's already passed. The federal government has implemented a cap on the fee that Canadian banks can charge for non-sufficient funds. So if you don't have any money, they charge you more money for being poor, basically.
The system hates poor people.
Yeah. Banks charge NSF fees when a check or pre-authorized debit payment is declined due to insufficient funds and the customer doesn't have overdraft protection. Those fees pay more money to have overdraft protection. Those fees typically range from $45 to $48, so the cost can add up. I've had way more than that. Even if someone is just $5 short when paying a bill or covering a check, they can be hit with a non-sufficient funds fee as high as $50, reads a statement from Minister of Finance François-Philippe Champagne on Thursday. That money could otherwise go to groceries, medicine, or other everyday
instead
essentials.
of lining Scotiabank's pockets and going to their, dividends. I mean, I don't own any Canadian bank stock, but it's gross.
Yeah.
And other countries don't need to deal with this shit. I'm pretty sure the UK, all the banks like shook each other's hands a couple years back and said no more minimum account bullshit fees.
Yeah, they used to charge $75 sounds a lot closer to like the kind of shit they charge. I work with Simply My Bank, and it's the fees can be pretty high.
Yeah, I have Scotiabank right now, and I could get screwed over by some fees, but I've been okay so far.
Yeah, but the fact that you have to walk that tightrope in the first place is ridiculous.
It's really annoying.
Starting March 12th, you cannot be charged more than $10 in Canada if you don't have enough money in your personal deposit account to cover a payment.
But it's only every 2 days.
In addition to the $10 cap, Canada will only allow a bank to charge one NSFP fee per account over 2 business days. So they can charge you again 2 days later if you still don't have enough money. It's another $10 ding.
Yep.
So it's better.
Steps in the right direction, but still a very capitalist compromise, if there ever was one,
Mm-hmm.
from our Prime Minister banker.
The people who have a lot of money in banks aren't paying these fees, so it's the lowest income Canadians who are exposed to this. Exactly.
Yeah, because the banks make enough money off the people with more money because they invest that.
Yeah. We've kind of implicitly built this poor tax in this country around bank fees. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no tax on Canadians making under $50,000 and ban these fees.
Mm-hmm.
$10 is cute, but ban them.
Banks aren't the only culprits for charging high NSF fees. They've also seen auto lenders and payday lenders hit consumers with $100 to $200 fees. Oh my God. Yep, step in the right direction.
We have a better story next.
Mm-hmm. Also related to fees.
An improvement in fees. CRTC to eliminate fees when canceling or switching cell phone or internet plans
Woo!
in Canada. Yeah. Who here hasn't paid some bullshit $40 activation fee when you get a new SIM card?
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
I just did that.
Yeah, I had to do that when I got my new phone recently.
No more. I'll let you do reading.
From CP24, Canada's telecommunications regulator says it will prevent companies from charging customers when they cancel, change, or activate plans. They said Thursday that the move is meant to make it easier for consumers to switch internet and cell phone plans, enabling them to take advantage of better offers without having to worry about the unexpected costs. Coming to effect on June 12th, so we still got a ways to wait.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Activation fees have ranged from roughly $30 to $80. That's basically what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Acting as a barrier to Canadians. Yeah, do you think that putting fees on anything is a barrier?
Yeah, you think?
I'm a journalist. Oh yeah, there's the part in the article here of the guy complaining about it. Today's CRTC decision is an unwarranted and self-defeating regulatory intervention in a market that's already highly competitive and delivering historic price declines, said
Eric Smith.
Senior Vice President of the CTA, the Canadian Telecommunications Association.
Unwarranted self-regulated business.
These one-time fees help recover real costs that won't disappear as a result of this decision. It will only shift how those costs are recovered in a market where switching providers is already so easy.
Cry harder.
Yeah, cry harder.
Cry harder, bitch.
Yeah. We don't care about what
fucking
you have to say.
Senior vice president. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's fucking cutting into your paycheck real bad.
Yeah, his job is to cry on behalf of the big telecommunication companies' behalf.
Yeah, stick it up your ass, Eric.
Yeah, stick it up your ass, Eric.
Yeah. Okay, here's some evil shit that our government's doing.
That passed.
Yeah, just a reminder that Mark Carney's domestic policy is shit from a butt. For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
His foreign policy is great, but this is disgusting. From Reclaim the Net on Twitter, or X, the Everything app. Canada's new surveillance bill requires every electronic service provider to store your location data, device info, and other metadata for a year. Not just suspects, everyone. Just in case the police want it later.
Bill C2 collapsed under its own weight. Yeah, I think I do recall that.
Yeah, I remember us talking about the failed first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Bill C2.
It's about keeping Canadians safe in the online space.
I want to be clear what C22 is not. It is not about surveillance of Canadians going on and about their daily lives. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know about that.
The bill does exclude web browsing history and social media activity from its mandatory retention requirements. But the bill doesn't need to include everything to be seriously invasive. Location data alone tells a story. Where you sleep, where you worship, which doctor you visit, which protests you attend, all stored for a year, accessible to police and CSIS with a warrant, and built into every electronic service provider's systems by law. Well, at least I won't see what kind of porn you're looking at.
Yay.
Allegedly.
Positive.
I mean, it still could.
Maybe, probably.
Tamir Israel, whoa, red flag, director of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association's Privacy, Surveillance, and Technology Program, named the distinction that matters most, being able to categorically order companies to keep everybody's information, not just people who are suspected of crimes, is different from getting a company to build a back door that then police could walk through to grab information.
Yeah, storing stuff indefinitely is definitely different from a back door, but it's still not good. You're both putting people's privacy at risk, and you're creating cybersecurity threats, they also added. That's the architecture of C22 in a sentence. Mass data retention treats everyone's location and data and device data as pre-collected evidence stored in advance on the off chance it becomes useful later.
The bill's most technically alarming section authorizes the Minister of Public Safety to issue secret orders compelling core electronic service providers, a category the government hasn't fully defined yet, to build and maintain surveillance capabilities for law enforcement access. Providers who receive these orders are gagged. They cannot discuss them.
That's so silly.
These technical capabilities cannot require providers to retain message content, browsing history, or social media activity.
Oh, compared to Bill C2, C22 does pull back in one meaningful area. Under the original proposal, police could have approached any service provider, including those bound by professional privilege like doctors and lawyers, to ask whether an individual was a client, for how long, from where, and whether the company knew of other providers who had dealt with that person, all without a warrant. I do remember talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrible. C22 limits warrantless inquiries to telecommunications companies only and restricts the question to a simple yes or no. Is this person a client? Ah, okay. I guess that's better, question mark. C-22 borrows several provisions from the Strong Borders Act, C-2, which drew fierce opposition before stalling entirely with no movement since September 2025.
Yeah, well, this bill is still trash. Bill C-22. It still infringes on your privacy rights, and kill it with fire. Yeah, write your local MP and bitch at them about Bill C-22 and how much it sucks. Yeah, well, scream in their ear loud enough. Scream in their ear, and if they still don't listen, then fucking cut it off. Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, moving on.
I mean, if they're not listening, then they don't need them.
Yeah, obviously. They're not using them.
Yeah, there's poor starving children in Africa who I'm sure would be delighted to have those ears that are not being used.
Yummy. Breaking news! More bad
Carney
Canada
success?
stuff. Whoa.
No?
Okay, wait. Canada's economy lost net 83,900 jobs in February, driving Canada's unemployment rate up to 6.7%. 6.7! Hey! Economists were expecting a 10K gain, according to Bloomberg's survey.
The employment drop in February is the largest one-month decline since January 2022. Even worse, Canada lost 108K full-time jobs last month, the biggest one-month decline in full-time employment since April 2020. Did something happen in April 2020?
Damn, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you can Google it. Anyone else losing their jobs out there? Drop us a like and subscribe.
Woo! Hit that notification bell. And we got two more articles here. They're kind of related to this same subject here. From CBC.ca, first ever report on mental health in the Canadian music industry shows dire need for change. 94% of participants say mental health issues are prevalent, while 53% have felt life wasn't worth living. Oh my God.
I haven't felt life was worth living since Much Music ended.
Yep, exactly. Soundcheck, mental health in the Canadian music industry, surveyed more than 1,250 music professionals through a bilingual survey, focus groups, and in-depth interviews. Participants encompassed artists, crew members, managers, venue operators, educators, media professionals, festival staff, and executives. The findings are dire. 94% of participants agreed that mental health issues are prevalent in the Canadian music industry. 86% have personally experienced challenges, and 95% have witnessed challenges in others. Additionally, 53% of respondents have felt that life wasn't worth living. 42% have wished they were dead, and 43% have thought of taking their own lives. Those last two numbers are like neck and neck with each other. That's crazy.
This is not about fragility, said Catherine Harrison, lead researcher on the study and president of Revelios, which both ran the study and provided the funding for it. It's about systems. When over half of respondents have felt life wasn't worth living, we are no longer talking about isolated burnout. We are looking at structural harm. The Canadian music industry must confront how work is organized, led, and supported.
Yeah, well, I mean, the music industry in general, not just Canadian, is just, it's in the gutter right now. You can't make a living.
Yeah, I think a lot of Canadians would be shocked to know that their favorite artist, like the person who wrote the song that they sing to their kids at night or that played on their first dance at their wedding, might be struggling this much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, and I've ranted about this so many times because I remember when Neil Young and Taylor Swift had their music off of Spotify, and they said they would not put it on until they promised to give a penny per stream, and then that just didn't happen. The music was re-added, and no one is good at holding the line, and so now everything is undervalued. Yay.
Yeah, we got an article from CTV News here, basically with the same numbers. Yeah, so Canadian musicians and musicians around the world not doing well, except in one country, which we'll get to in the next section here. There is a possible solution to this problem, believe it or not. Oh yeah, AI has really started to wreak havoc over the last 12 months. Think of all these people, not just writers and artists, but technicians, audio engineers, and others who made their living composing jingles, soundtracks, ads, and selling their work for advertising. Today, companies say, why would I do that? I can just ask a robot to do everything.
Yeah, basically Google, whatever. We could be doing so much better, but we're not. So let's fix it, guys. We used to be good at this. We had Much Music. We still have CBC. We have the ability to be better at this. Carney
we had the infrastructure.
Eurovision, so let's start. Let's get the groundwork going.
Let's get going.
And start a real scene for music in every province and territory in this country and support Canadian art. But no, our radio stations are still just playing, U.S. top 40 because Elbows Up doesn't apply to radio stations, apparently. Oh, right. It's because they're all owned by iHeartRadio.
America. All right, time to find out what's going on in the rest of the world. Starting off with a little bit of hopium here.
Yeah, good news for artists. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. I don't think it was last episode.
No, I
But
don't know.
Ireland makes basic income program for artists permanent.
Yes!
After a successful pilot, artists will be paid hundreds of euros weekly over 3 years.
Woohoo!
Incredible. And also, I want to say, kind of funny to come in at this time when Ireland is out of Eurovision because of
Kind of
Israel.
ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. So good. I hope they develop their arts. I mean, they have some incredible stuff out there. Animation, too.
Oh, yeah. Check out Wolfwalkers.
Yeah. I forget the name of the studio that does that style. The Irish studio is very good.
Yeah. Song of the Sea is another good,
Yeah.
good movie by them. Yeah. The Irish government will give 2,000 artists unrestricted weekly stipends following a successful 3-year basic income pilot program. Woohoo!
I remembered. It's called Cartoon Saloon.
Yes.
2,000 artists. Wow. Nice.
Yep.
2,000 artists?
The program, which will begin accepting the applications this May, will provide practicing artists with unrestricted weekly installments of €325 or $383 over 3 years. Over the course of 1 year, those payments would amount to roughly €16,900, about $19,000 for a year.
Wow.
Wow.
The Irish government launched the program, framing it as a recognition at a governmental level of the important role of the arts in Irish society. And yes, absolutely. That's what we need more of.
According to a statement by the Culture Ministry, preliminary data from the pilot suggested that the guaranteed basic income led to significant benefits, including increased productivity and reduced anxiety among participants. So all you fucking naysayers for universal basic income,
always good.
It's literally right here. This is from the Irish government.
And guess what? There was a return on it.
Yes.
According to the Culture Ministry's research, each euro invested in the pilot program was worth a return of €39 to Irish society.
Yeah, they literally made money off of it.
Yes.
Yeah. But memorize this. Guaranteed basic income led to significant benefits, including increased productivity and reduced anxiety.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, it works. It works,
God,
guys.
we have a basic income bill stalled in the Canadian Senate for years.
Yeah. People are saying, oh, it's never going to work. It literally does. It's right here.
It does. It's
has.
Right here. It will.
The results were stunningly clear, the NCFA committee explained. Artists on the scheme spent more time creating, produced more work, and spent less time trapped in unrelated jobs just to survive.
Beautiful.
I've never felt more
So
validated
plain.
in my
Yep.
life.
Plain as day.
Yeah. Significantly reduced underlying financial stress, facilitated a reduced sense of anxiety about affording basic necessities. Yeah.
The action comes as nonprofit organizations across the United States implement basic income programs for artists intended to provide increased financial support as they pursue their craft. Oh, yes, a nonprofit organization providing basic income program. I don't think that could even come close to what a government could do if they actually got their shit together and supported their arts on a national level.
Yeah. So, yeah, people need to shut the fuck up.
Especially Canada.
Yeah, and get us universal basic income because, yeah, it has now been proven to not only work, but actually, like, make the government money.
Just ask yourself, listeners at home, what would you do if you got $400 a month or a week?
$400 a week? I mean, I would make some of the best music I would have ever made in my life up to this point because I wouldn't have to worry about paying my bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine all the art we're
Money
being
is a
deprived
tool
of.
created by government so that poor class systems can exist and
Yeah.
then you can be subjugated to slave wages.
Yeah, I was just saying, just imagine all the great art we're deprived of because people are afraid of starving to death.
Look at all
don't have time to make masterpieces.
Yeah, I mean, you can think about it in terms of like all the unmade masterpieces in the world, or like the argument where it's like I use this argument because it's used a lot in like, this is totally out of left field and not related to anything, but like in abortion debates when they're like, oh, you know, you terminate the baby. What if that baby went on to cure cancer? Well, what about every kid who can't go to university? They can't afford to. And then what about them? They're all still alive. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are forced to work at Pizza Hut when they really wanted to go to university. Maybe they could have been a molecular biologist or something like that. So it is always the money is the tools, the university, the access, the support, the systems, the network. It's all connected. And so the world that we're living in right now is rapidly approaching its end. And we really need to fix this direction. And Ireland is doing the right things.
Yeah.
So
Ireland.
Canada
based
really
Ireland.
needs to pick it up. Come on.
Yeah. UBI works.
Pathetic.
UBI works. Shut the fuck up.
Canada pathetic. Ireland respected.
All right, back to the
We were saying
back to the
before,
doom and gloom.
Yeah, we were saying before regarding the war in Iran that we did. None of the allies got a heads up from United States President Josephina Trump about the war in Iran. But actually, we did get a warning about like 17 years ago in 2009 on Trump's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
He used to post quite a bit, and he posted this little video. So can't say he didn't warn us.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
So obviously he's saying this about Obama because he's a racist and a white supremacist, but he did do exactly that. And so we now have 3 American presidents in a row who have started wars in the Gulf.
Wow.
So give it up.
Fantastic. Yeah, he did exactly what he said Obama was going to do.
Obama. Yeah, thank you, President Trump, for the high gas prices.
Thanks for the projection, Don.
Yep. And it's going so well that they sent 2,500 Marines.
Yep, boots are already getting on the
We mentioned
ground.
this already. Stuff is going down. This
Yep.
is only from 3 days ago. This article.
Yep, CBC, U.S. orders 2,500 Marines, amphibious assault ship to Mid-East after almost 2 weeks of war. And look, there's a big bomb blast going off in Tehran right there.
Yep, everything is still being bombed. I encourage everyone, please check out Al Jazeera, mostly for your live updates about what's going on in the Middle
Yep,
East.
surprisingly very reliable
It's
source.
day-by-day updates, and especially if you don't have cable, you don't have 24-hour CNN or something like that. It is very useful, and it doesn't have the bias that the, media in the West does, because it doesn't have the Zionist penetration, because it's based out of the Middle East.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember, like, on Twitter, like, there were dozens and dozens of videos when the war first broke out, but now the videos are disappearing because, the U.S. is
they're
losing.
cracking down. So there's, like, people being arrested for posting videos of bomb sites where missiles fell, all sorts of stuff. There was a clip where CNN got, like, exposed where they couldn't play some footage, and, like, the reporter was like, well, we can't show it because Israel asked us not to, because it shows the location of their whatever they used to fire the missiles with. So it's like, okay, so, are you doing journalistic work, or is the fact that Israel put their missile shooting thing in the middle of a residential area on purpose? There was a clip I could have put in the show of this, like, it was with that, the lady from the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she calls out some Israeli chick who's like, since the war began, Israel has had hundreds of injuries. And she's like, is there a problem with the war you ordered?
Yeah.
Yeah, very funny. And no sympathy at all. They deserve everything they get. Nazi country.
Oh, here we go. Some recent events. Karg Island. This happened just on Friday, I
after
believe.
market close.
Yeah, this is Monday now. President Donald Trump said Friday that U.S. forces have obliterated military targets on Iran's Karg Island and warned that the oil infrastructure there could be next. I mean, that doesn't really help anybody, I think. But
no, the U.S. wants the oil stuff intact because this is why they're here.
Yeah, so striking the oil
It's an empty threat.
Yeah. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, this fucking clown.
Oh, yeah. This morning, we don't have a thing about this, but Hegseth did some post apparently about how, like, God anointed this war. And Pope Leo is like, no, bitch. God don't show in darkness. But I'm once again asking for Pope Leo to excommunicate every member of the Trump administration in America right now. Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, even the Josephine Trump himself. Excommunicate them all. I don't know when the last time the Vatican did a show of doing something like that. I don't know if it will contribute to the tensions amidst this holy war, but do it so that they'll stop using God to justify this shit. It's like we're living through the Crusades. And I know, like, Pete Hegseth literally has, like, the whatever the cross is from the flag of Jerusalem on his chest.
Yep.
I don't remember.
He's got some crazy tattoos, that one.
No, not good. John Oliver had some older clips of Hegseth really kissing up to the state of Israel on his show the other week.
He sure did. Ah, yes.
Oh, boy. Religious fanatic Senator Tim Sheehy, a first-term senator from Montana, who we talked about when the elections happened before. Marine Corps veteran's arm broken as he was pulled out of the room for protesting the senseless war. I don't think it happened yet.
No one wants to fight for Israel!
That's it. That crack, brutal.
Oh my God, that's brutal right there.
But that goes to show you, listeners of the show, Americans especially, you are cattle. They will kill you. They want you to die. Your life isn't worth anything unless you participate in the system. And whether that participation is flipping burgers at McDonald's, your national, corporation, or, shooting brown children in the face. Watch one battle after another and read the literature. God damn it.
Read the literature.
Americans don't know how to read anymore.
It rained oil in Tehran recently.
Yeah, because they bombed some of the facilities on the mainland, too.
The oil's all going up into the sky and raining back down, just like Ozzy
War
Osbourne
is an
said.
environmental disaster. Yeah, every single time. It's not something that people really take into consideration, but
Do you guys now understand why Greta Thunberg focused on becoming an anti-war activist rather than just environmentalist?
Because she figured it out.
No
This has
amount
a
of
lot
paper
of
straws will
likes.
offset this. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no amount of paper straws. This has a lot of attention on social media.
Yeah, 5 million views. Wow.
And like 360,000 likes. That's a lot. Do you think the U.S. is winning this war? Korean media published an image from today being March 10th, 6 days ago, almost a week, showing the U.S. dismantling its THAAD and Patriot systems from South Korea to send to the Middle East.
Yep, so these are long gone now.
Oh, they are so gone.
Probably blown up by this point.
So I don't know if I've talked extensively about the numbers for this, but for anyone who doesn't know, Iran is firing Shahed drones, which cost anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000. And those drones are the things that are like in all the videos going and loaded with explosives. They're super cheap, easy, quick to fire, hard to stop. And the U.S.'s only means to stop them are $4 million Patriot missiles and $12 million THAAD missiles. So if you use $4 to $12 million worth of missiles to stop maybe one $50,000 drone, who wins in the end, in the long run? Who wins? Judges? Oh, the military-industrial complex wins, unless the American people can rise up and do something about it before their Second Amendment is taken away. That's the right answer.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Rise.
This seems like a little desperate to me. I don't know.
The American administration is flailing. I honestly, as someone who has kind of been paying a lot of attention to this, they look so weak. And I've had people in like chats that I'm in that are super hyper conservative who are like, hell yeah, he's doing the right thing. And I'm like, he didn't do anything legally correct. He didn't do anything constitutionally correct. And now the U.S. is like losing because he thought it would be in and out like Venezuela. But this is the nightmare that has been like at America's doorstep for like 40 years for all of Netanyahu's life, which, we don't want to prematurely blow that news load bulletin all over the place, but there is a likelihood.
We're not there quite yet, so we got like one or two more stories before
we're
that.
Almost there.
Breaking. BBC correspondent reporting live from Gaza says Israel used white phosphorus. The broadcast is instantly cut.
Israel is our ally, therefore they cannot be called out for using chemical warfare, which is a crime against humanity.
You're anti-Semitic if you mention it.
It's been white phosphor again used. We filmed.
Yep. There we go.
Cut it away. What's that clip of Space Ghost? Cut. Yeah. Oh, gee whiz, man. Yeah. French TV tells the truth in a separate article posted below from Human Rights Watch. Verifies the use of incendiary weapons. Gee whiz, everyone should be in the street for this. We shouldn't be giving any money to a country using white phosphorus on civilian populations. Israel is an evil Nazi state, and they need to be, denazified.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
Yeah. Terrible. Crimes against humanity.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
The King Satan Yahoo himself.
So rumors have abound recently that Netanyahu was struck by an Iranian missile and is now dead. And the rumor mill is circulating.
Say about this.
And, to counter these rumors, Israel has released a few videos.
2 or 3.
Of Netanyahu being like, hey, I'm not dead, guys. I'm cool. Don't worry. But people keep pointing out random inconsistencies and little glitches in the videos that make it look like AI. And honestly, I can't really tell. It's hard
the
to
videos
tell.
that have been released are not good. To just briefly surmise some of the hearsay that's going on, Netanyahu's son is a social media loser like every other Gen Z Alpha cross kid born in like 99 or whatever. He's partying up in Miami. He usually posts like 50 times a day on social media. A week ago, stopped. Weird. That's crazy. Why would you do that unless maybe there was some sort of family situation that came up? And then there was another video, the second one that we're not going to review here, where there's like a cash register in the background of the video where the date says 2024. Or there's like people in videos wearing masks like it's COVID time.
Yeah.
So it just seems like there's a lot of old videos that the state of Israel has been holding on to for 6 years and maybe training algorithms with that they're now busting out and the public is not buying it. And also I would like to add, just so I don't get accused of anti-Semitism, that the Iranian supreme leader, the new one that got elected, the son of Khamenei, or Khamenei, however you say it,
the new Ayatollah.
He's also not been seen in public. So everyone's just being ruled by people that are dead and not even like present anymore in this world. But we're all still facing the consequences. So
you can see
break this down on
evidence
screen
here. Yeah, for the listeners at home,
for the YouTube viewers.
This is from one of the videos.
Not YouTube. That's something else.
Whoa,
that might be an Israeli joke.
Maybe.
Is that a joke for Israelis? If you're Israeli, did you find that funny? Comment below. I don't think we have any Israeli listeners.
No, I sure hope not. So yeah, apparently his teeth disappear, or like a section of his teeth disappear in this video. So you can see when he opens his mouth here. Yeah.
This is some serious conspiracy.
Yeah, I feel like I have a tinfoil hat on right now.
But
I feel like
it is
an idiot.
a video that was published by the state of Israel. So like, what can you do? What can you say?
And now see, when he closes his mouth, he's got the teeth there. So
there's weird inconsistencies.
Yeah.
I heard people were talking about the fingers too, 6 fingers in a shot or something.
I
saw another post that all these world leaders meetings were canceled with Netanyahu as well. So like, I don't know. There's just so many pieces of little scraps of evidence, but until we see him standing on a podium beside Trump again, I ain't believing it.
We just won't know.
I think Netanyahu died.
This is freaking wild. This is a Gallup poll. Americans no longer sympathize with Israelis over Palestinians. Response among Americans to the question, in the Middle East situation, are your sympathies more with Israelis or Palestinians? Right now, it's at 41% Palestinians, 36% Israelis.
This is the first time ever since this was like basically ever started being recorded.
Yeah, it started in early 2000s, support for Israel, 51%, Palestine, 16%.
This is basically the first time support for Israel has crashed below 50% kind of ever.
Yeah. That's insane.
Gee.
The mask is slipping.
Yep. You can't hide this much bloodshed.
No. Genocide is unpopular. Who knew?
Yeah, this article, this is not something we were going to talk about, but the BBC published that thing there.
This one?
No, down. Yeah, this was trending on like BBC. Israeli soldiers shoot a Palestinian boy and stood around as he bled to death. There's so many, like, they're not even like hiding the language now. And like, before we kept calling it out for being very tepid, but now they're being open about it. There was another post. Al Jazeera is like, Israel no longer letting Lebanon civilians back into their homes, right? This is all a part of it. Israel is conquering land, killing and displacing people, genocidal campaign. They're Nazis.
Whoa! Okay, nice. So much for the tolerant left.
They learned all the wrong lessons from the Holocaust and the actual German Nazis.
They've turned the Star of David into a swastika.
They have, actually. It's so disgusting.
Here's just a few crazy things that have happened in the last 7 days.
In regards to the whole war, but also there's been a separate side drama in regards to the war and AI companies' participation in it.
We had some articles describing this, but we found this summarization on Twitter that actually just works just as well.
Concise tweet.
Pentagon revealed they used Claude to capture Venezuelan President Maduro. Pentagon demands Anthropic gives them unadulterated access to Claude for mass surveillance and autonomous killing weapons. Anthropic says, fuck you. Trump blacklists them, calling them woke pussies. Pete Hegseth designates them a supply chain risk. Oh, God. OpenAI swoops in with better terms, stealing Anthropic's deal, securing ChatGPT as the military's preferred AI model. 5 hours later, U.S. starts war with Iran and kills Supreme Leader Khamenei.
I will add to this, actually, because there's a few things missing here. One, it seems like the U.S., they did own up to using Claude, which is the system Anthropic developed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard that they were still using it and that the supply chain risk designation they issued, Trump as well, only like they have so many months to get all of the Anthropic stuff out of the U.S. government. So it's all still being used, basically.
Right.
And it was still being used at the time of the Iranian strikes. And also, not mentioned here, that Anthropic has a federal lawsuit now against the government, being like, this is unprecedented. This has never happened before. It's never been used on a company and on an American company. This has only ever been used on foreign companies, like Russian or Chinese companies.
Yeah.
So I guess good luck to Anthropic for being the only company to have like anything close to a consciousness or a conscience.
Conscience
is the word I'm looking for there. They don't have.
Nobody has a consciousness.
They wish
in
their
this
AI had
administration.
consciousness.
Yeah.
But, no, conscience is the word I'm looking for there. I need to rewatch Pinocchio, I guess. But like, yeah, because the terms that the U.S. military, they said they didn't want any restrictions on the AI they used, and Anthropic said no surveillance and humans must be present when like initiating a strike. And the government was just so mad at that they are like,
they
fuck
got very
you.
mad. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I hope they get fucked. Good job. I hope Anthropic can put the government in its place. Pete Hegseth has embarrassed the government once again in a new Pentagon budget report. He spent $93 billion in 1 month, making it the most expensive month since 2008, and included in the budget report $2 million on Alaskan king crab, among lobster and a whole plethora of buffet delicacies.
I mean, that garlic butter looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the no woke, no pussy military. $2 million on Alaskan king crab.
Alaskan king crab. Yes.
No
some fucking posh people food.
There will be no waste, no fraud, and no abuse in this administration.
The $2 million on crab was for the troops. It's part of routine food procurement. Yeah.
I don't buy that shit for a second. Are you serious?
Yeah.
People will defend anything, seriously. So much for the Doge thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Vince Wilson there, whoever that is.
We got a little
Oh yeah, Kristi Noem's gone.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? I'm so glad the bitch is gone.
She spent $220 million on a 60-second ad. Pete Hegseth spent $93 billion in 1 month. We just talked about. Trump just gave 4 big tech companies a $51 billion tax break. That's also true.
Oh my God.
And you're worried about a single mom getting a few bucks from Snap to feed her kids? Wake up, people!
Wake
this is a
up,
post from
people.
@4tax fairness on Twitter. Yeah, so Kristi Noem's out, and the reason basically was that during her Senate grilling a couple weeks back, she was like, yes, the president signed off on the ad that featured me and cost this many millions. And the one thing you don't do is you do not say that Trump approved or signed off on anything. You have to make it murky. Throw in the bureaucracy. That's what you're supposed to do.
Muddy the waters.
So she did the one thing. She's like, and so Trump's like, I can't let you think that you can grift the American people like I can. So you have to go.
You're fired.
He sent her to some bullshit makeup position, the Shield of the Americas. We're not going to talk about it until it becomes important. So Google it yourself. And lastly, the U.S. government seemed like they were sort of setting the stage for a false flag in California. At least that's what the conspiracy nuts on Twitter, X, the Everything app were sort of saying, though there were things that it was based on that were real, such as an FBI memo saying that drones had been stolen from a military base and that allegedly Iran was going to use them to strike the West Coast. Well, that hasn't happened, at least as of right now.
I don't think they want to do it because they just know nobody's going to get it. Nobody's going to buy it.
No. And I said to you that, like, even if the U.S. was sort of trying to, like, their government was planning a false flag, the fact that all the experienced people are gone and it's full of 20-year-olds who are on the internet all day, if they see anyone online who figures it out, they're going to get cold feet immediately. They are not able to commit. These kids are so scared of, and, like, persuaded by whatever the public thinks. Like, the only person who would actually be willing to do a false flag would be Stephen Miller. And I feel 100% confident in saying that Stephen Miller would be more than happy to kill as many Mexicans in California as possible and then use that as a reason for the U.S. to go full throttle into Iran.
Have his cake and eat it too.
Yeah. That would be just what he would want. Because nothing makes Stephen Miller harder than dead Mexicans.
Yeah. So we got a little quote here from Gavin Newsom saying that there is no imminent threat to California after an FBI memo circulated.
weird memo that the FBI published.
Yeah, so let's just read what he said here. We recently acquired information that as of early February 2026, Iran allegedly aspired to conduct a surprise attack using unmanned aerial vehicles from an unidentified vessel off the coast of the U.S. homeland, specifically against unspecified targets in California. Oh, this is what the memo to him said. Oh, yeah. Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Nope.
Following initial reports on the memo, the FBI's Assistant Director for Public Affairs, Ben Williamson, said those reports left out the word unverified in the initial line. We recently acquired unverified information. To be clear, no such threat from Iran to our homeland exists, and it never did.
That's Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
Carolyn Leavitt, yeah.
The lying bleach blonde bimbo.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that section up there. The U.S. Intelligence community routinely collects intelligence on adversaries. Yeah, like the girls' school in Iran that they freaking bombed and blew up because they thought it was part of the military installation. Oopsie-daisy.
Yeah, lots of evil villains in that school, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's basically it. It seems like California is handling it. I don't think Newsom's going to be scared of anything.
They're not going to get away with it if they try, and they know it. People and unfortunately are more attuned.
We are very much progressives. We're very woke, you know, and broadly on the left. But the right also is calling this out on every level. Yep. Tucker Carlson, what's that other the Candace Owens has been on it. What's the blonde lady? Megyn Kelly. Everyone is being like, this is a war for Israel on behalf of Israel, and they're also like, bring on the false flag. Where is it going to be? You're going to just try and create some bullshit. And a person that I quite like, Professor Zhang, who does a lot of lectures in a high school in China. He's a Canadian intellectual who went to Yale, I think it was. He thinks that the U.S. is going to do a draft. He thinks that Trump is going to bring back the draft. So vote now on your phones. Leave a comment. Do you think that the U.S. will bring a draft? Set up a pool at your office. Get all the gang involved, put $1 in the jar. Will the U.S. institute a draft? Will there be a height exemption so that Barron is not a part of it? Because that was trending online.
Send Barron.
Barron. Oh yeah, the final piece here in our not that well arranged section on Around the World, but it's okay because it's
this is the only one that was outside of the U.S. Really,
but it is hopeful, so I don't mind it, and I'm not beating you up about it. Starmer,
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, Starmer vows to fight on, which no one asked him to, after historic Green by-election win. Yes, there was a by-election at the end of February. I probably blew out the mic when I said all these B's right now. At the BBC, the by-election, Labour came in a terrible third place. Which this was a riding they'd held for like decades, but it was won by the Greens, a 34-year-old plumber named Hannah Spencer, the party's first ever MP in North England. Though, unfortunately, if Labour is third and Green is first, who is in second? Why, it is Reform UK and the most racist crap party. Though, look at the Conservative vote share. Can you believe that they were Prime Minister 2 years ago? They didn't even pull 2% of the vote. Oh, man. And the Lib Dems also not even 2% of the vote.
Yeah. Green pulling it in. Look at that.
The riding was called the Gorton and Denton by-election, if anyone wants to look it up. Gorton, not Gordon with a D. Gorton with a T. Gorton and Denton.
Hannah Spencer with 40.7%.
Yeah. Woo. There was a funny video of Matt Goodwin, the Reform UK loser candidate, being chased by someone being like, "Oh, you're a loser. How does it feel?"
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't have that in the right-wing trash section.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I see some videos of loser politicians, and I just like laughing at them. But if they're not relevant, then we don't need to waste time watching them again, because we're going to forget who Matt Goodwin is right after we close this tab.
Speaking of which, we got a really classic Trump brain fart here.
Oh, yeah, this was really funny. I don't even know the last time I heard someone call the planet this.
Terra. Did he mean Terra or terror as in terrorism?
No, he means Terra. Watch this.
Finally, we honor one more American soldier, a fallen warrior of world of wars, and really terror.
No, I think he meant terror, like the Bush
world,
version,
like
terror.
Wars of terror.
Yeah, a fallen soldier of wars. So yeah, a fallen soldier of terror.
Victim? A terror victim?
Terror victim.
Okay,
like terror.
Sure.
Yeah, because Bush used to say that all the time. It's like, we got to stop the terror.
We must stop the terror.
The terror.
The terror.
The terror.
Fine, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
There, you got to defend Trump. I hope you're happy.
Wow. What is this, 2016?
Well,
Oh yeah, here's some
Speaking of
fucking retards.
people, the thing is though, is that the dumb, retarded American majority can't defend Trump. You have more brain cells than they collectively.
They have nothing.
This video that we're about to play of this TikTok interview is exactly what needs to happen on a national scale.
Yeah.
Let's get this going.
So how do you feel about the war in Iran?
I think Trump's doing the right thing, honestly.
What's up?
I got no comment on that.
You don't know why?
Nah, I'm just taking a guess.
You're just guessing that he's doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Trump's doing the right thing.
Is this a joke?
What?
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
It's a joke?
It's not.
All right, you can fucking drive home, bro. Or walk home, sorry.
You got so salty.
I don't know what just happened.
But he doesn't even know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just think, like, it's not good for the economy. Like, I don't know.
And that's right. This is how most Americans feel. Honestly, the people like that guy who are like, President Trump is righteous and is war is a holy pursuit of God. It's God's will. Those people are the minority, like by a lot. But most American people thought by voting for Trump, they would get back to the 2016-2020 period of prosperity, which is only because it was coming off of Obama's presidency. Yeah. But now we are so removed from the good vibes of post-Obama and even removed enough from Joe Biden's positive era that like JD Vance constantly going out and being like, this is Biden's fault that the gas prices are high, not because we struck Iran, is ridiculous. And the American people are not buying it. So when this sort of thing happens, a public conversation, I actually really like this because the interviewer did not instigate it at all.
No.
He was just like, why? And the guy couldn't answer.
Like,
so he asked the other friend, how do you feel?
I think it's bad.
But anything,
fuck you, bro.
Anything less than unwavering support.
Yeah.
To
Love
the
how he just
MAGA
turned on him.
loyal, the MAGA faithful is traitor.
What are you talking about, bro? Is this a joke?
Is it traitorous?
Is it a joke?
Like idea to them.
All right, you can drive home. I mean, walk home. I like how he fucked that up
right.
too. So funny. Yeah, but even this guy who's like anti-Trump, which, you know, good for him.
For the economy.
This represents all three kinds of Americans.
Good for like
this
the
video
economy or
represents.
whatever.
We didn't even finish it. The video represents all
Like,
three Americans. So there's a third guy in this video.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just think like it's not good for the economy.
So this is
like
the
I don't know.
Median American voter here.
I don't really give a fuck about the war. Smoke weed, get money, fuck bitches.
And then this is the non-voter.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have the median American voter who I think that he voted for Trump. I think the two guys voted for Trump and the third guy didn't vote. Would be what I would wager. But that's exactly it, is that Trump in the last election was able to pull a lot of moderates, middle center people, right? Because they saw the Cheneys fall behind Kamala and they thought Trump was going to be the no war candidate. So those people are mad. And so the MAGA faithful are like, well, you still voted for him. He's got a mandate now. So what do? You confront them. You have to get them to like state their beliefs, challenge them. And you know what? If you lose a few friends in the process, you know, it's better than losing them on the battlefield.
That's not good.
And maybe those MAGA folks should be the first line of defense on the battlefield. Their skulls are so thick, they could probably take
a bullet or two.
Or a drone, maybe. Yeah, that video really just says so much to me. Here's a little clip from CNN with our someone we featured on the show before. This is the Politics Girl on Twitter. We showed her videos
Politics
before.
Girl.
Yeah, I think that's her handle. Just a good clip from CNN talking about Israel and Iran. So let's listen.
By Iranian funds. Did they pay for it? I mean, the 46 Americans killed in Israel on 10/7. Did they pay for it? They paid for it. They paid for Iran. There are 46 Americans there. There were 8 taken into captivity. They paid for the American politicians' tolerance of Iran.
Can I ask you, this is the second
was
time
Hamas.
you've talked about Americans dying. You just said 68 Americans.
46 Americans.
46 Americans.
So.
But here's the thing. We're spending, what is it now, $3 billion a day?
Are you putting a price on those 46
No.
lives?
Here's what I'm going to say, so let me finish what I'm going to say. Because obviously I'm not putting a price on those Americans' heads. What I'm saying is, you're saying 46 Americans died, so we should attack this country because they're a terror organization and we need to come and get them. I could tell you here at home, 68,000 Americans die a year because they don't have health insurance. So if we're going to spend billions of dollars on something, would it not make more sense to save American lives, to spend it here on healthcare than bombing another
It's the
country
job of
overseas.
the United States government.
But what
to-
I'm saying
to
is, if you're going
eliminate
to
our
start
enemies.
saying
No, it's
American
correct.
lives are specific, 47 people died, and this is
Iran-
worth going
no,
to war
Iran's a
for, I would
declared-
say 68,000 people die a year here,
Iran's a
and that would be
declared
worth
enemy.
investing in
budget,
as well.
by the way.
I think that she's just highlighting how the U.S. values different lives differently for the systems of and the monetary must turn the wheel.
The dude didn't even answer he questioned. He didn't
No.
even attempt to answer the question.
No, troops are infinitely more valuable than dead poor people. Are you stupid, lady? That's the American belief. They love their veterans, but when you get home, you might as well be a dead, uninsured person. Fight America's foreign wars so that they can get cheaper oil and rape more children. Speaking of the evil class of people controlling the country of America and to a degree Canada, on the right, I believe, is Jonathan Greenblatt, who's one of the head dudes for one of the biggest American...
Not AIPAC.
No,
I
I think
the other
ADL,
ones?
maybe the
ADL?
American Defamation League.
Anti-Defamation League.
Either
yeah.
way, he's a raging Zionist hog. And on the left, there's another guy, and I don't remember his name. But what he says in this clip is absolutely heinous. And this is the kind of thing that, well, Israelis just can't help it. They love saying the evil out loud. They
The
want
next
credit.
generation of young people won't remember October 7th in the same way. That's true in Israel and in America and broadly in the world. And we need to make sure two things. One, it's not that we don't forget. We need to make sure that the story is told properly so that when the history books write this, they don't write about the victims of Gaza, right? They can't. The history, and it's. I should be a little more precise. There were victims in Gaza, right? It's true. There are civilian casualties in every war that's ever been fought, but the victims were the people of the nation-state of Israel. The aggressor was the Iranian regime in the proxy of Hamas, and we need to make sure that the history books reflect that, and that requires each of us every day to talk about it in real time with our children, with our grandchildren, about it in a way that is serious and thoughtful and complete and moral.
And so people who do not want Israel and Zionist Nazi hogs to write the narrative of that, how to justify a genocide and, taking over land from your neighbors, well, you need to counter that narrative and talk to the people in your life about, hey, we're living through what could amount to World War III because of a country that can't help itself from invading its neighbors and taking its land. And when you remove any of the religious allegory from it, that just sounds evil, right? So yeah, we really need to just get plain about it. This is terrible. They're being out in the open with it. They don't want to hear the stories from the oppressed because the Israelis are always the oppressed. Anyway, speaking of, you need to step up and get your messaging right. Kamala Harris did not do that when she spoke at the Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
She did it. I told you so at a funeral.
Yeah. Learn to read the room, lady. Anyway, let's check it out.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now.
All the black ladies behind her clapping.
I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming.
That's so weird, though.
Yeah, the rest of the speech is all sad for Jesse, but that one part,
so dumb.
I don't know, it came off as a little condescending.
Yeah, and I could see, there's a row of women behind her, just like, girl, tell
that's right, girl.
That's right. I'd vote for Obama a third term if I could. Because Obama still drone struck the countries too. I think that Kamala probably wouldn't have gone to war with Iran. I think Israel would have taken the first shot still and would have tried to drag the U.S. in, kicking and screaming. Maybe that Israel would have done the false flag against America at that time because Kamala would have said no. And then you need a 9/11 to happen so that you can justify national anger. But so I think it probably could have still happened under Kamala, but it would have taken longer. And she wasn't for defunding ICE or any of that stuff either. So she can't be like, we saw this coming. We would have prevented it. No,
it just would have been a little less bad.
A little less bad, and it would have taken longer. And honestly, the speed of things is probably to, it should be to the, it should be something the Democrats can take advantage of because it's to the detriment of the Trump administration for things to go this fast because it's so clumsy. They're so bad at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a kind of a feel good or feel bad story. I don't know. I don't feel anything anymore.
Yeah. I'm not much of a gamer myself. So.
No, but this is kind of funny.
This is from GameStop.
Yes.
Power to the players.
GameStop, in an official statement, says and declares that the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Wii U are now officially retro consoles. I'm pretty sure the Wii U came out in like 2013. But also, remember, if you were born in 2013, you're like 45 now. So, like, things just go crazy. Time is...
It's weird they would say Wii U because they say PS3, Xbox 360, and I'm pretty sure the Nintendo peer in that group is just the Wii,
but
like
the
regular
Wii.
Wii.
The Wii has been considered a retro console for years because they stopped.
But it's the same. But it's the same.
No, they stopped making games for it like way earlier. And
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird that the Wii U only just now is making this list, but whatever.
Do you want me to read this whole thing?
Probably not. If our YouTube listeners want to read this statement, it's on GameStop.
Okay. Actually, no. You know what? It's actually kind of funny, so I will actually read it. The ruling was reached following careful analysis of multiple indicators, including the presence of component cables, the lack of Fortnite, and the realization that they launched when George W. Bush was still president.
But the Wii U came out in 2013.
Under GameStop's retro classification standard, the aforementioned systems will now join the ranks of other beloved legacy hardware in the retro category, such as the Sega Saturn and the Nintendo DS.
A sassy statement.
Wow. In accordance with this designation, GameStop will run a retro trade-in bonus off now through March 21st. Customers who bring in Wii U, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, or any other older consoles, games, or accessories will be rewarded with an additional 10% in trade credit. Woo! Yay!
Yeah, GameStop famously there for
GameStop.
Giving people a good deal on used games.
GameStop would also like to remind the public that while these systems are now officially classified as retro, they're still very cool, and anyone who owned one at launch is not old.
Absolutely not
Absolutely
old.
not old.
No.
Wow.
Well, thanks.
I feel old.
Yeah, I own a system that's way better than any of that. So yeah, whatever.
More gaming shit.
And kind of related back to Nintendo. So Secretary Kennedy of famous upside down food pyramid fame and anti-vax, legendary status, posted some slop Nintendo parody thing to his social media. And with a tweet we have on screen says, insane that Nintendo hasn't shut this shit down, but tried to cancel Evo Melee 2013 after they raised money for breast cancer awareness, because Nintendo is very litigious and doesn't like it when people make money off of their properties. But we're excited to say that Nintendo has finally sued the American government because they have been posting way too much of this crap. And so keep an eye on that. People at home, Google it. It is real.
Do I dare full screen this, or has the audience seen enough of this crap?
We don't need it.
Yeah, I don't want this brain rot. I do not need this brain rot in my life. Okay.
No. So just remember, at home, y'all can do your own homework and research too, and keep an eye on it, because I'm sure that the Nintendo lawsuit against the American government could set a landmark precedent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. Speaking of companies that are, Nintendo's not evil. They're
pretty
like
evil.
Dumb.
They're strict.
They're like, okay, they're probably pretty evil. But Ticketmaster is definitely more evil. And they were let off the hook earlier this year by the Trump administration from, I believe it was a lawsuit or a fine. Just ridiculous. We mentioned earlier that a bunch of companies were let off the hook. And so in response, a bunch of emails leaked in which the Ticketmaster's board of directors were caught talking about how they rob fans blind. Quotes, "These people are so stupid. I almost feel bad for taking advantage of them. Robbing them blind, baby. That's how we do it." And that charging $50 to park in the grass and $60 for closer grass. Wow. Just ridiculous, just horrible, ridiculous stuff here.
Robbing them blind.
From 2022,
baby.
These emails are.
That's how we do. This is how we do it.
I wonder, what was the reason these emails?
This is how every billionaire and CEO of these corporations think about us.
It reminds me of the Campbell's CEO.
Yeah.
I love that all this stuff is starting to come out.
3D
These companies are evil.
Meat. Yeah, 3D printed meat. Yummy. That made me stop buying Campbell's, by the way.
I'm
never buying
Campbell's
canned soup again.
Nah.
No. Oh, more evil corporations.
Yay.
David Zaslav will receive $887 million as compensation for the Paramount Warner Brothers merger. I guess the fact that it didn't go through hurt his feelings. Oh, no, it is going through. Oh, fuck, it is.
Yeah, Paramount kept upping the bid to buy Warner Brothers.
Wow.
Netflix,
so why does he need compensation for that?
Because he did such a good job.
Wow.
He's such a good business boy.
Meanwhile, thousands of people are expected to lose their jobs in layoffs after the merger closes.
Yep, it hasn't fully closed yet, but the terms of his, I guess, payout,
Look at this
golden
evil
parachute,
smile.
Yeah.
That's the smile of someone who doesn't know how to actually smile because they're inhuman.
That's a smile of someone who only knows how to smile for the, company photo.
Yeah. People don't realize how much paperwork is involved in something as big as this. And he's the one who's got to make sure other people are getting it done.
Wow, thanks.
Glaze them harder.
At
Hyper love.
Hyper love Zaslav cock, maybe.
This looks like a fucking AI bot. That looks AI as fuck. 149 followers.
Trying to find time while lost in space.
Yeah, good for you, dude.
And lastly, related back to what was the subject of last episode mostly, which was Epstein.
The Epstein files.
People continue to go down. We will not forget the Iran war is a distraction. That's why it's called Epic Fury, because subconsciously Freud is always with us. And while Trump, it's rumored to have said, chose Epic Fury so that when people look up Epic Fury could come up before Epstein or Donald Trump If you look it up, it'll autofill, yada, yada. This is his hope, allegedly. This is the idea. Though publicly, he said they presented him with a bunch of names, and then he chose that one. It was his favorite. But anyway, this is just a big Epstein distraction. Epstein's Fury war, and people continue to go down in governments, celebrities, Prince Andrew, the Andrew formerly known as Prince, but also magicians, apparently. And I don't know if I've talked about this on the show, but I went to Las Vegas in February last year. It was my last trip to the US, and I wanted to see Penn and Teller because I know that they're getting up there in age and they're probably going to retire soon. And so I was like, okay, let's check these big acts that have been very impactful on my life. I'm sure people who are podcast listeners have some familiarity with like shows like Penn and Teller's bullshit and stuff. But anyway, this story is not about Penn and Teller knowing Epstein. It's about another magician I saw in Vegas on that trip who is retiring now. And I didn't think was going to retire this soon. But I guess when it comes out that you rape children, your career is, a hard thing to preserve. I'll let you.
David Copperfield.
Yes, David Copperfield is officially stepping down from his show.
My journey began as a kid. This is a statement from David Copperfield.
Yeah, on Twitter.
My journey began as a kid in New Jersey with a dream of one day making magic my life. I saw magic then, and I see magic now, as more than just my work. Magic teaches us that often the things that others dismiss as impossible are not only possible, but within our grasp. For 25 years now, I've been fortunate to headline at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. My last performance at the MGM will be on April 30th, and I'm excited to announce what's next soon thereafter. It's the largest project I've ever tackled. Ooh, and the most challenging, too. In the meantime, I want to reflect on this moment and this milestone and thank the incredible team at the MGM and my crew that literally made the magic happen, sharing wonder with over 7 million people from every country on Earth. I'll be performing 120 shows over the next 8 weeks at the MGM. Join us if you can. And most importantly, know that whatever you dream about, you can achieve.
I just want to say, I don't know if listeners at home really grasp what a superstar David Copperfield was in his day, especially in the 80s and 90s on like broadcast cable television. He had special after special, making stuff like the Statue of Liberty disappear and like really big spectacle stuff. Ask your parents.
I remember this one time he made a llama disappear. He took a llama and he put it in a box. He closed the box. He spun it around. He opened up the box. There's no llama.
When I saw him, he made a whole spaceship appear above the audience in the MGM Grand. He had a little alien puppet fella that was the most impressive, like remote operating animatronic thing I've seen anywhere. Disney did not. I don't know if they developed it, but like it was better than anything I've seen. Like we watched the Oscars and the stupid Baby Yoda was there, and the thing that Copperfield had would look better than that. So, and it was walking around on its own too. It was like really impressive.
That's impressive.
But like no photos or video allowed, so I have nothing I can share from it. But it was a great show. If he's saying he's going to do something bigger and better than Las Vegas, I kind of feel like it must be some offer from a streaming service, do a special,
maybe
special with Paramount Plus to like, I don't know, make the Great Pyramids of Giza disappear.
I don't know.
And if that is what it is, I called it. So goodbye.
Well, he can't make Gaza disappear because it's already gone.
That's true.
Hey, he's got to do Giza instead.
Giza, not Gaza. Yeah, Gaza's already
Gaza
closed.
Giza.
But goodbye, David Copperfield. Goodbye, and I'm glad I saw you when I did, and before I knew you diddled children. I thought he just liked supermodels. Damn, even magicians, huh?
Just choose you to the bones.
I know you too, Teddy.
It's fine. It's cool.
All right, let's look at some crazy shit we watched recently.
Well, yeah, especially the movie we're opening with.
Yeah, this one is a wild freaking ride.
Yes.
Bugonia.
It picked up an Oscar, I think, last night, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
What for? I don't remember.
I don't know. But Begonia is a good movie. It stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil or say anything too much about it. It's very fun to go in blind on this movie.
Yeah. What should we say about this?
Well, the premise, and I've watched the interviews that the actors do when they go on late night television, so I know what
how
they're
they walk
to
the
say.
tightrope.
But
Yeah.
basically, it's Jesse Plemons plays a character who, along with his brother, though primarily it's Jesse, think that there are aliens living amongst us, and they think that this healthcare CEO lady is a alien, so they kidnap her, and they're gonna find out.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really.
Yeah, I would describe it as kind of like a dark comedy, like very dark
Super dark
comedy. But it was pretty funny in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Emma Stone is great as always. She's a great actress.
Yeah,
And she's very good at playing a bitch too.
Directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, who did The Lobster.
Yeah.
And Kinds of Kindness, and a couple other
good
films
director
in the last few years.
Yeah, go see this movie because I think you were complaining about this. We want to talk about this movie with more people, but not enough people have seen it, and we can't really talk about it without spoiling it.
Yeah,
so
it's a feel-good film of the
watch this
year.
friggin' movie. It's great. Best happy ending I've seen in a while.
Watch it with everyone that you know.
Yeah, big group session.
And then after the movie, you can talk about how much better the world would be
Yeah,
if it was
if
like
that
the
happened,
movie.
yeah.
So there you go. No spoilers though.
You still alive, baby?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
You know that you're ticking.
Whoa, Brangelina!
Yeah, the film that made Brangelina a thing. We watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah,
and it was surprisingly competent.
Yeah, I remember hearing that there was a lot of production troubles behind this movie. There's a podcast I watch called It Was a Shit Show. Shout out to Shit Show. They did an episode on this movie, and yeah, a lot of crazy script rewrites and reshoots and all kinds of crazy shit. And the paparazzi, oh my god, they were hounding this movie relentlessly when it was being made. So,
but it was good.
Yeah,
it had
was
a good sense of humor.
Very funny.
The timing was
Surprisingly funny.
good.
Yeah.
There were more than a few shots that were downright impressive. The use of real guns and all these bullet holes feel so much more real than if it was like a CG movie made today.
Surprise Keith David cameo, which was nice.
They build up the tension very well. And I thought things would happen that didn't. So even my expectations were averted.
Yeah, good slapstick, surprisingly.
Yeah,
too.
actually.
Yeah.
So I put this off for a long time, but I would recommend it, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
This is Cousin Patty. He's going to be staying with us for a while. Isn't that nice?
You don't have a cousin Patty.
You lied to me.
Oh, okay. So
Billy Crystal.
Billy fucking Crystal. So this is a movie that I would catch my mom's watching on TV from time to time. And I'd be like, "What is this?" It's like, "Oh, it's Throw Mama from the Train." And it looks like a pretty cool dark comedy because, I like Danny DeVito as a filmmaker. I really like Death to Smoochie, which you haven't seen yet, but that's on the list. Don't worry. It's that one I know for sure is a good movie. This one, there was one fatal flaw that I didn't account for in this movie. And that is, I fucking hate Billy Crystal, which I did not realize this fact until after I saw this movie. And he's insufferable in this movie.
He's not very magnetic.
Yeah, he's the best way I can describe him is he's
a wet sandwich.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon?
He's like if Woody Allen was confrontational. He has the same bitchy, complaining, neurotic energy that Woody Allen does. But Woody Allen would just cower in a corner, wringing his hands and whining. Billy Crystal's the kind of guy that will just get in your face and bitch at you, directly to your face.
Yeah,
he's got that kind of energy.
The movie's basically kicked off because he has a public meltdown.
Yeah, because his ex-wife stole his.
And Woody is
story or
far too
whatever.
composed to ever lose his cool in public.
Yeah. So this is a loose remake of a movie called Strangers on a Train, where Billy Crystal's a washed-up author who got his book stolen by his bitchy ex-wife. And then Danny DeVito is this weird loner guy. I want to say he's probably on the spectrum somewhere. He lives with his evil bitch of a mom played by, I don't know what her name is, but she was in the Goonies.
Yeah.
She's easily the best part of this
She
movie.
got an Oscar
She got an
nomination
Oscar
for this.
nomination and then promptly died like 6 months after. So rest in peace. But yeah, she's really, really good in this movie.
Owen, you're going to poison my tea! You were writing a letter.
No, Mama.
You were writing to tell them to take me away. You want them to take me away.
I'm writing a story for class, Mama. I don't want them to take you away.
Yes, you do.
Owen loves his mama.
Owen loves his mama. Owen loves his mama.
She's like the best reason to watch this movie. Just look at like a YouTube compilation of all her scenes.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like I did not like this movie.
Yeah,
I was a
not
lot
good.
harsher to it than even you.
Well, you had more problems than just Billy Crystal.
Yeah,
I liked
had
everything
a lot
else.
Of problems.
Yeah, I didn't
Some
like
of the editing was incoherent.
Yeah.
The story choices just made me mad. You know, if it's a movie, we like it when we're shown, not told. But when the editing like breaks the story, that's just like if it's not serving a purpose and it's just incompetent filmmaking. So unfortunately, that's where I landed on this. And DeVito did direct this.
Yes, this is your first DeVito directorial effort.
Yeah.
I think. Have you
'Cause
seen
I haven't
Matilda?
even seen Matilda. no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he does make good movies. Okay,
Yeah.
trust me.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a controversial thing, but I kind of got the impression that DeVito is very similar as a filmmaker to Rob Reiner, in that, like, you know, they're very story forward, that's not a word. Story forward filmmakers, but not really people that have like the eye for like cinematography, really, because like you could do cool, like, you know, if you said the premise is like, oh yeah, they take a train to Mexico. There's a lot of ways you can make that look cool, and none of them happen in this movie. So yeah. And I don't want to complain about the specific shots and stuff that I have problems with. There were no like standout lines, I think, that drove me nuts. But yeah, I was not crazy about it. I gave it like a 3 out of 10.
The air was humid. Class dismissed. That was pretty funny.
That-
You didn't like that, but I thought that was kind of funny.
No, that was dumb. That was like one of the moments that made me the most mad. So no, 3 out of 10.
Speaking of 3 out of 10,
Yeah.
would you rate this one a little higher?
I would rate this one a little higher, but not by much.
So Funny Games, it's kind of an infamous.
I've talked about how I kind of rate movies in that I
Yeah.
get more mad when there's missed potential or broken stories. This film just didn't live up to the potential that I thought
it didn't
had.
really like dig into the premise enough for me. So Funny Games, it's like a really dark comedy about just these two shithead teenagers terrorizing this family on their vacation and just like subjecting them to unbelievable amounts of torture, which, you know, sounds awful. And that's kind of the point of the movie, is that it's supposed to make you feel awful, but there's also like a very darkly humorous element where there's a lot of like fourth wall breaking. Like the two evil teenagers that are terrorizing this family, they constantly like nod and wink at the camera and like directly address you, the audience member, being like, isn't this just so fucked up? What's going on? Like, man, I can't believe you like this shit. What's wrong with you? Like that's the vibe that this movie gives. But they don't do it enough. Like there's not enough.
They're like being shy about trying to go all the way with the Ferris Bueller audience thing.
It's like Ferris Bueller style fourth wall breaking, but there's not enough of it.
No.
There needed
And
to
it's
be
so jarring.
Yeah,
when
there
it
needed
happens.
there needed to be more of that humor to offset the tension, because you're basically just watching this family get tortured for 2 hours, and it's just like,
yeah, tonally this movie is
yeah,
inconsistent.
there's not enough there to like ease the tension. And I was hoping, because this movie was remade 10 years later with the same director, and I was hoping that, maybe the Americanized version, because it's a European version, maybe the Americanized version has
we
more.
watched a dub.
Yeah, maybe the
No,
it
we
was
watched the
subbed.
sub.
It was
We watched
subbed.
the sub.
Yeah, maybe the Americanized version has more jokes and it's more, you know, wacky slapstick Ferris Bueller style. But no, apparently the remake is just a shot for shot Gus Van Sant Psycho style remake of this one. So
Warmer. Cold.
I mean,
Was
what do
meinen
you
Sie?
think? You
Denken
think
Sie,
they
Sie haben
stand a
eine Chance
chance?
zu gewinnen? Sie
You're
sind
on
doch auf
their
Ihrer
side,
Seite,
aren't
oder?
Who are you
Also,
betting on?
auf wen setzen Sie?
Ciao,
Ciao,
Bella.
Bella.
what's the fucking point if you're not gonna, you know, make it better? He really thought he had lightning in a bottle
What
first
does it
time.
say
He
on
had
the
to
poster
recapture
there?
it.
What award did it win at Cannes?
I'm not
probably
reading
best German.
Yeah.
because it's not the Palme d'Or. That's the only award that matters.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a really sick son of a bitch like we are, it's worth a watch out
And
of
like you said,
curiosity.
it's like torture. I wouldn't. Torture porn is a word that used to be used a lot.
No, it's very psychological. It's not like
a lot more psychological.
It's not like
It's
Hostel.
Saw.
It's not like Saw or Hostel style gore. There's very little gore in this movie. It's very psychological. And it would have been way better if there was more Ferris Bueller style funny shit.
Yeah.
More funny games.
Yeah.
You know, more funniness in the funny games.
So, not enough funny games, not enough funny prizes.
Yeah. I don't know. This one actually deserves another remake. Make it funnier this time.
We were talking about if we had cast it in 2007 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Who we would have had in our cast blows the remake.
It was
cast out of the water.
do you remember who it was? I remember who we
Yeah.
chose. We chose Shia LaBeouf and the kid from
Haley Joel Osment.
Sixth Sense. Yeah, Haley.
Yeah,
Joel
because he would have
Osment.
been like 22 or 3 at the time. He's got a little bit of husk to him. And in the movie, the 2 teenagers, one of them's got a little husk to them. The other one, the snarky one, is the skinny one. So you need someone who would be like kind of witty and maybe mean, like a Shia LaBeouf or even a Jesse Eisenberg at his meanest. But yeah, they just cast kind of 2 nobodies. And
I mean, for the European version that makes sense, but for the American version, why wouldn't you go all
they
out
don't
and
really
cast
have
someone
any
like
big
Shia
name
LaBeouf?
people in the American one. Not that you need big name actors every time, but do you want people to see the movie? Because Americans are not going to go out and see a film where a child is like one of the people tortured. So
I mean, the parents are played by famous people in the remake.
yeah, but even then, I think that like they're not even American famous people. Like,
Yeah.
they're like British.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a bit of a disappointment. I wish it had gone further, not with the torture, but with the humor.
yeah, it
funny
definitely could
games.
use another remake. This is a 4 from me. Out
Yeah,
of 10.
it was all right. We're gonna end things off with one last injection of hopium.
Yeah,
you wanted to save this for the
full
end.
circle moment, I guess. Back to Canada as we lead the show with that. But future Prime Minister of Canada and current Premier of Manitoba, Wab Kinew, made this really great little statement in regards to the Iran war and Canada's position in it and the motivations behind it. So I just wanted to end with a little bit of hopium of sorts, because there are people out there willing to speak the truth and say this, you know, to the powerful in the government. And we need to vote for them. We need to support them. And the fact that, like, you know, Laurie Idlout just abandoned the NDP is, you know, disappointing. But they're capable of good stuff. So take it away, Wab.
I hope this war in Iran ends. These gas prices are too high, and kids are being killed for no reason. Even the Trump administration cannot explain why they're at war in Iran right now. And I mean, like, the Epstein file seems to be as good of a reason as anyone else can figure out. So stop the war. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We're always going to be there to help you. We cut the gas tax once. We brought it down permanently afterwards. So we're going to be there to help with the cost of living. But right now, Donald Trump is public enemy number 1 when it comes to our economy and the average person keeping your head above water. So, yeah, that's my hope, is that the war stops.
And let's all remember that. Donald Trump is enemy number 1 when it comes to our economy in Canada. This is true. We're at war to distract from the Epstein files.
Yeah.
So, as we end the program, the broadcast, what do we have going into the next period?
Well, there's Cuba for one. We didn't talk much about Cuba.
We
this
did not
episode.
talk about Cuba. Allegedly, their electrical grid completely busted wide open today. So
It sure did.
you know, let's see if Trump can resist the urge to take them. You know, we know how he is about keeping his hands to himself.
Yeah,
But
right.
how many quagmires can the American military withstand before the dollar flatlines and, you know, Rome burns? And by Rome, I mean Mar-a-Lago.
I think it's bad for the economy. or
And I really
something.
hope that the Americans are getting worked up. I mean, are y'all really,
No.
are you satisfied with the distractions of FIFA and the Olympics?
They got some really tasty bread and some really cool ass circuses down there.
Yeah,
all
right. Not-
Really tasty chemical bread.
Yeah, but the Democrats, they don't let the animals in the circuses anymore. No.
Yeah,
The tigers are all played by immigrants.
Yeah, the circuses are too woke now.
No.
That's why we had to invade Iran.
Yeah, we needed to save their circuses.
Make circuses great again.
So yeah, I don't know what else is going to happen. It's like mid-March right now. I guess West Coast over here, we've had our first snowfall.
Yeah.
Of whatever this winter is. We had 1 day of snow. It's stuck around
Now it's
for
gone.
1 day and it's gone. So, and it's gone. So that's pretty much the state of things. Yeah. I don't know. You're beautiful.
Free Palestine.
And free Palestine. And stop the war.
Stop war, free Palestine.
Like Javier Bardem said at the Oscars last night.
Good on you, Javier.
Stop the war and free Palestine.